So up we have our first omnibus finance bill, which is House File 3438, the legacy finance bill. Chair Lilly, as soon as you, any staff get up, you there. Why don't we start? Why don't you introduce your bill?
Madam Chair, would you like to do you need a motion?
Yes, could you please move House File 3438?
That is my motion. I think you had a,
So, Chair Lilly, he's moving House File 3438 to be recommended for placement on the general register. Please, explain your bill.
thank you. That is my motion. So, thank you, Madam Chair and members. And this is going to be tough because I think we have a great story to tell in our legacy area. In 2008, the voters of Minnesota passed a constitutional amendment to raise their taxes 3/8 of 1% on themselves. And this bill captures that effort. Most of our work has historically been done in the first year, but this bill kind of stretches and grows a bit into the second year. Primarily, most of our work is capturing what the Lessard-Sams Council does, and they look at a ton of projects. Here's kind of their folder. You can bring that home and read it tonight if you want, and there's over $300 million worth of requests, which they look at diligently and study, and some of our members on this committee are members. Representative Becker Finn was on the council as they came forth with these proposals, and Representative Eklund now is carrying that and working on it, and Representative Heitzman. But it's a citizen council, and they propose many projects. The House research people have put together a deep dive into what these projects are and where they go, and they make a strong effort to spread these investments all over Minnesota, and done a great job in these last years of really trying to improve Minnesota. So it's a total of, in the Lessard-Sams piece, of $159 million going to 49 different programs, and 29 different organizations currently are getting it. So that's just a really brief of Lessard-Sams, which is unfortunate. I'd love to talk about it all day because they really are doing great work, and I really hope members take a deeper look at the work that they're doing, because it's something that we all can be very, very proud of. Now, switching into the other areas of the funds, we, as we've heard this morning, there was quite a bit more cash that came in, and the Lessard-Sams was able to capture that in their efforts. So we included a funding in the clean water area, and I'll go through those. And we also included increased funding in the parks and trails and the arts and cultural area. Again, that's in your deeper dive. I could have staff go into it if you wanted, but we're gonna zip through that. And we did some tweaks with the way the water area. If you can look at the list, there's some house positions that we've done to kind of meet the current times, whether that be some work on PFAs or, and I'm pretty excited to see like some of the extra work, because we've been hearing a lot about the lead problem, and so we're making a strong effort to deal with that in the metro and in greater Minnesota. I'm not going to go through everything. So then we change so that the members that are on the Clean Water Council are actually voting members. Currently, the members are not voting like they are on Lessard-Sams, so we change it so that they're voting members. There's a couple minor extensions that were asked for, and we're including those in this bill. But there's, just in the sake of time, I'll probably stop there and then stand for questions. Again, there's some amazing work that's being done in these with these funds in the arts and cultural area. Amazing parks and trails all over the state of Minnesota. In the clean water area, we really strong work that we can be proud of. And then again, in the Lessard-Sams component, great investments in restoring our prairies and habitats, increasing hunting opportunities for everyone in Minnesota. With that, I'll stand for questions. Sorry, that was just kind of a quick.
Well, thank you, Chair Lilly. There's no amendments that were pre-filed for this bill. Are there any questions or comments? Representative Garofalo.
I don't think anyone else has it. So, Madam Chair and Representative Lilly, so usually the Clean Water Council will make recommendations for the Clean Water Fund. This is the second year of the biennium, so that's not done. So what's the basis of these recommendations that are in this bill?
Chair Lilly.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Representative Garofalo. It's a very good question. So it is an opportunity that we're trying to meet. There's, with the current times, it's, the council is advisory, as is Lassard Sams, but we're trying to work with, trying to meet the current issues and spend a little bit of the money that's on the bottom line. Just to be clear, so everybody knows, we're leaving a robust, in all funds, we're leaving a robust reserve to meet some of the things that we're talking about earlier. So there is a strong reserve, but it's a shame not to spend some of the money maybe in this year and to address some current issues that we're seeing out in the public, especially like the lead service sort of things.
Representative Garofalo.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Representative Lilly. I reviewed the bill. I didn't see anything for more training for safer tree trimming, so people don't get in accidents trimming trees and stuff. I didn't see that in the bill. Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman and members, I'll be voting no on the bill for the reason I specified regarding the Clean Water Fund, but also because of the unnecessary amount of spending. I'll be voting no on this bill. Would encourage colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Representative Johnson.
Well, Chair Moran, Chair Lilly, it's an interesting bill. I remember when the the constitutional amendment in 2008 was adopted, watching the commercials on TV, watching DNR begging for it because they didn't have enough money to manage the land they had. I don't know how many thousands of acres they've purchased with this fund since then, since 2008. Or actually before, I think it was the 70s, late 70s when it started.
Chair Lilly.
Thank
Well,
you,
I
Madam
can't-
Chair, and just quickly, we're in our 14th year, so
But
2008.
Representative Johnson, quickly.
in this bill, there's 41 square miles of acreage being purchased again between PILT, without PILT, and easements. 41 square miles. That's over a township. A township is 36 square miles. The acquisition of land by this state has to stop. That amendment moved forward as constitutional amendment because the DNR could not manage, didn't have the funds to manage their land. They didn't have the funds to manage their land, why are they buying more? With that, I will be voting no.
Any other, Representative Beckerfin.
Madam Chair, I know we're short for time, so I will save my comments for the floor. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative Chair Beckerfin. Seeing no further question, Chair Lilly, any closing comments?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, members, for your time this morning. And again, there's some amazing work that's done with these funds, and happy to visit with the representatives that had some concerns or questions. It's land that we all can enjoy as Minnesotans, but we can debate that forever. And but thank you very much for your time this morning.
Okay, members, the Lilly motion before us is that House File 3438 be recommended for placement on the general register. Ms. Anna, please take the vote.
Chair Moran.
Aye.
Chair Moran, aye. Vice Chair Olson, excused. Representative Garofalo.
Garofalo, no.
Garofalo, no. Representative Albright.
Albright, no.
Albright, no. Representative Beckerfin.
Aye.
Beckerfin, aye. Representative Bernardi.
Aye.
Bernardi, aye. Representative Eklund.
Aye.
Eklund, aye. Representative Hansen.
Aye.
Hansen, aye. Representative Hassan.
Aye.
Hassan, aye. Representative Hertas.
No.
Hertas, no. Representative Hornstein.
Aye.
Hornstein, aye. Representative Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Representative Kresha, excused. Representative Liebling.
Aye.
Liebling, aye. Representative Lilly.
Lily, aye.
Lilly, aye. Representative Mariani.
Mariani, aye.
Mariani, aye. Representative Markort.
Markort, aye.
Markort, aye. Representative Miller.
Miller, no.
Miller, no. Representative Nash.
No.
Nash, no. Representative Nelson.
Nelson, I.
Nelson, aye. Representative Noor.
Miller, I.
Noor, aye. Representative O'Neill.
O'Neill, no.
O'Neill, no. Representative Pulowski.
Pulaski, I.
Pulowski, aye. Representative Petersburg.
No.
Petersburg, no. Representative Pinto.
Aye.
Pinto, aye. Representative Schumacher.
Schumacher, no.
Schumacher, no. Representative Schultz.
Aye.
Schultz, aye. Representative Scott.
No.
Scott, no. And Representative Sundin.
Sundin, aye.
Sundin, aye. So Madam Chair, that is 17 ayes and 10 nays.
On the vote of 17 ayes and 10 nays, the motion prevailed in House File 3438 as is on the floor.